With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B. What up, man?
What's up, man? I see we both are rocking our teams. Early in the season, but you know, hey, it is what it is.
Hey, you gotta take the small victories, man. And let's get this. You know, you definitely gotta get the small victories, and this is probably gonna be one. I wouldn't say it's one of the few because I know if I'm not mistaken, I think we both picked each other's team to win the division. So I think I'm not gonna say I'm gonna wear a Cowboys hat after every victory. I might wear a T-shirt or a wristband or something, you know, a foam finger or something. You know, I might do something, you know, because we won. But let's get some horns in here real quick. Get some horns. So
one thing I will say on that note is you guys appear to be a different football team in the regard that.
Hey. Just hold that thought.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that. Let's do formalities first. Let's introduce. This is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
It's your boy Scotty B.
So how was your weekend?
Oh man, my weekend was straight. Nothing exciting. Just watching the games and keeping up with the fantasy football, and you know, just normal, typical fall Sunday. You know.
Yeah, so same here. I didn't do anything. Actually, you came by the crib. We was watching the games. Pretty cool. So again, yeah, like Scott was getting ready to get into. There was a lot going on in the world of football on Sunday. But I guess we could get into that Cowboys game and start there. So what were you saying about that team out in Dallas?
No, I mean, this has a different feeling. I know I've been critical of Mike McCarthy all last season, but maybe he has something there. Maybe he is the right person for the job. I know it's 2 games into the season, and I mean, it might be too early to give him his flowers, but if they can continue with the trend of not beating themselves and playing solid football, they're going to go far. They're going to go far this year. I like what I saw. At least from. Yeah. I think that I agree. I feel like the defense is the biggest thing. You know, the defense. They 2 games into this season and 2 games in the last season. They look worlds apart. They're fitting the right fit on the run. They seem to be in the right position during the pass now. You know, they have given up, you know, some yards and things like that, but they're not giving up the points in the easy points. Like last year, it just seemed like no effort. You know, it was just like, oh man, we here, we trying to get a check, and it is what it is. This year, it seems like they trying to win, you know, and that's the biggest thing. The offense is the offense. I feel like they probably should have put up more points last week, but they didn't, but they put up enough to win. So let's go back. Let's stay at the offense. So the elephant in the room is Tony Pollard. Should he be playing more?
He plays a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, so I saw this last year, and I wasn't rooting for the Cowboys, but I had Ezekiel Elliott on my fantasy team. He was my first overall pick. So I was invested in what the Cowboys were doing. And one thing that I noticed was Tony Pollard was getting the ball a lot last year, and he was making the most of his opportunities when he got the ball. Early on in this season, I'm seeing the same trend, and I'm seeing that when he gets the ball, he just looks more explosive than Ezekiel Elliott. He looks like I don't want to say he should be the starting back, but maybe it should be a timeshare.
They so last year they did it. It was a little. I think last year it was a little different because the line was hurt and things of that nature. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Zeke was hurt as well at times. But I don't have a problem with it. Is he a better running back than Zeke? No. He's definitely a change of pace. He Zeke still out carried him last week, but he has some big carries, as did Zeke. But he's a different weapon. He's just another weapon. One, having Tony Pollard takes the pressure off of Zeke. It also it's a long season. In an extra game, you need another quality back or another quality piece. And let's be real. This team is different than the first 2 years when Dak and Zeke was there. They didn't have they got Amari Cooper the third year, but year 1 and 2 they had aging Dez, you had an old Witten, you had a decent what you call it Cole Beasley, so I think that now you add Pollard last year, the year before last, or 2 years ago, who's he's developed. You have Amari Cooper, you have Gallup, you have CeeDee Lamb, even the tight ends, Schultz and Jarwin aren't bad pieces. So there's pieces all over the place, and I think that's why Zeke doesn't have the problem that he has. And we saw it and it's good that they had Hard Knocks. So we saw on Hard Knocks that Zeke is definitely a team player, and he doesn't seem like a selfish player. He coaches these guys up. He seems to be a leader. So the timeshare, I don't think is a problem or will be a problem, because here's the main thing is, ain't none of those running backs on that roster could block like Zeke. And right now, especially with Dak having the injury he had, you need some protection when we have injuries, and we had a lineman on the COVID list. So it's things like that where there's no way Pollard could be RB1, because he can't do those intangibles that Zeke can.
Fair enough. Okay, so your Bears, your second team.
Whoa! My Bears.
Yeah, your Bears. So you predicted that Matt Nagy would be the coach of the year, and you predicted that the Bears would go pretty far, but you said there was one stipulation, that Justin Fields was going to have to play. So it's week 3.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields is starting in week 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the question I have for you, I'm going to give you the opportunity to recant anything that you said prior. Or so is Justin Fields ready for this moment?
Yes. You won't know somebody's ready or not unless you play them. Right? So here's the thing. He got put into the game last week against the who did they play? Was it the Bengals? The Bengals. Yeah, so he got inserted into the game, and it looked like he had more juice. Well, he definitely had more juice than Andy Dalton. It didn't really, like, the defense stepped up. The defense stepped up and provided. So, but I do think that Justin Fields being in there is gonna flip the switch for a lot of these guys on that team. I feel like they could go on a run, because here's the thing: it's gonna be a 2-team race. In my opinion, it's going to be between the Bears and the Packers. And the Packers can be had. I'm not getting fooled or going all crazy for what they did to the Lions. You know, they won't do that to the Bears. Those are going to be two good games. And the Bears have a shot. They have a shot to go on a run. And I tell you what. Now, again, I did have those contingencies on Matt Nagy being coach of the year. He had, and it was Justin Fields had to be rookie of the year, and he had to start. And well, we had step one. So how now we're gonna have to see how Justin Fields is, during the play. He made a play last week during that Bengals game where it gave me a feeling of he's getting it right and he's ready, because we know in the preseason he took that shot against Buffalo, right? He didn't set the block and he whatever. Last week against the Bengals, they were getting ready to do the same exact thing, and he stepped up, set the blocks. Now, unfortunately, the damn right tackle jumped off. Had a false start, but you can see there where it's like, okay, I need to set the block this way, and so those little things shows that he might just be ready.
Okay, we shall see. Like I said, I've got to see. And now I've got to see more.
So do you feel like he's ready?
No, I think they're rushing it. Well, they don't have no choice but to put him in. But I would have liked to see him sit for a little bit more.
I don't think that's fair, man.
I think it's the right thing by him. I could be wrong, and they can go on a run. I will agree with you here, right? Mm-hmm. I think that Justin Fields gives them a better opportunity to win. I think he's more dynamic, and I think he's the better one for the job. I just think that sometimes, your rookie year, it doesn't hurt if you're a quarterback if you've got to sit for a little bit and wait until the time is right.
I feel like black quarterback, they want to put restrictions to it. And I understand he's going to a different situation, but I just don't agree. Because I feel like if he was a white quarterback, they'd be like, throw his ass in there. He can go in. Let him play. Let him play day one. And he, those other four quarterbacks, day one, snap one, they are starting. And no one said, I don't think this guy's ready. This is a Bears team that was a playoff team last year. And I don't understand why he's not ready. Why is it him that's not ready and those other guys are ready?
So I'll take a different stance. I think that like Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, and who's the other one? Zach Wilson. They're going to get more opportunities if they mess up. Like the team isn't going to go or the fan base isn't going to turn away at them opposed to a black quarterback. Now the Bears are the fan base is really excited. He's the best quarterback that they've ever drafted in a lot of Bears' opinion. But if he goes out there and he stinks it up and he doesn't look like the savior to Chicago, he's not going to get as long of a leash as some of those other guys. Like Mac Jones, he's going to have this year. He's going to have next year because they invested that first round in him, and they're going to make the excuses for why his situation is not good. Zach Wilson, they're going to continue to build that team around him, and they're going to make the excuses to why he can't be productive until they get to the point to where it's like, you know what, we've got to cut bait with him. With Justin Fields, they'll do that to an extent. But if let's say he goes out there and he looks like Dwayne Haskins, right?
Right.
To where he's okay. Maybe you have to figure out if you've got to stay the course with him. The minute that he messes up, he's gonna be done. You know what I mean? And teams, they may take an opportunity with him. But we all know for the black quarterbacks, man, it's harder for them to get on. It's hard. Like, look at Cam Newton, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got guys like Blaine Gabbert. You got the guy, Nate Peterman, the guy that you
He
said.
is the worst quarterback
He's
in
the
NFL
worst.
history. He's
He
that
is
worst.
the right.
Yeah.
But how does he always have an opportunity to be a backup, and Cam Newton doesn't have the opportunity to be a backup, or no team is interested in Cam Newton?
But we don't know.
It's
We don't
not
know that
about.
no team is interested in him.
Well. There hasn't been any reports out there. I'm sure, like maybe there are some teams out there that kicked their tires on Cam Newton and said, "Okay, we'll give it a shot."
Mm-hmm.
But or okay, prime example, James Winston, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that he did in Tampa Bay, he was a capable starter. Why did he have to go somewhere and be a backup? You know what I mean? And wait behind Drew Brees until he got the right opportunity. So that's why I'm a little bit cautious
Well,
with just throwing Justin Fields in there and just making sure that he's got the right situation to be successful. Because if he blows his chance, it's going to be a lot harder for him to get a second opportunity. They'll say he go ahead.
No. I don't know if I can necessarily fully agree with that, because here's the thing. I think Justin Fields, all these quarterbacks, the last 5 years, possibly. Yeah. So we're going back to 16. If you look at the quarterbacks that were drafted that have produced, they've been given opportunities, right? They've performed fairly well. Um, Carson Wentz was day one. Jared Goff, day one. Even Dak was day one. But you look at it when and I understand that he was a 4th round pick, but he clearly should have been playing, right? And and he was day one. He was playing, because of an injury. But when you have it just seems like when those black quarterbacks, those young black quarterbacks, they need to wait. They need to wait and because they're not ready. You have somebody like Deshaun Watson. He's day one, right? And had Deshaun Watson gone first, second, or third, he probably would have had to wait. And Deshaun Watson should have went first, second, or third. There's no reason why Deshaun Watson fell to, I think he was 12 or something like that, 10 or 11, 12. Yeah. He definitely wasn't in the top 10 pick. And it's crazy because he had just went to the national championship 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row and beat Alabama, who some say was one of the greatest teams that they say that about every Alabama team is. But it just seems like black quarterbacks, they should just wait. Even Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes had to wait. And everything that was heard was that, yes, it was cool that he said Alex Smith was a good pick. It was a good guy to have in front of him because he was a vet and things of that nature. But I feel like, and from what we heard reports, Patrick Mahomes was killing it as a rookie in practice and everything, is why they felt so comfortable to get rid of Alex Smith, who had just, I think, led them like 12 wins the year that Patrick Mahomes was there. So I just feel like in this instance with these quarterbacks that if Zach Wilson doesn't have to wait and Trevor Lawrence shouldn't have to wait, because don't forget, Justin Fields was rated higher than Trevor Lawrence. Out of high school, heading into college, he was rated higher. So, and he beat Trevor Lawrence. like when they played each other just last year, Justin Fields looked a whole lot better. Now, did he have a better team? Probably. He probably should have beat him 2 years in a row. But I just feel like I don't think it's fair that people saying that Justin Fields should have to wait and those other 4 quarterbacks shouldn't.
So here's the thing, right? And I agree with you in the sense that maybe he shouldn't have to wait. But I guess what I'm trying to say is if he fails, he's
Mhm.
not going to get the same opportunities as all the guys that you named.
I don't know if that's the case.
I mean, just look at it. I mean, the guys that you name, right? You named Deshaun Watson. Deshaun
Mhm.
Watson had success. You named Dak,
Mhm.
who came into a really good situation. Like the Cowboys weren't stinking it up. It was just
Mhm.
like they had a playoff expectation the year that Dak came in there. Tony Romo was going to be expected to lead them to the playoffs. Dak came in there and he played his butt off. But I look at that Bears situation, and I don't know if that team is all the way put together. And like it has a good defense, but the offensive line is
Okay.
terrible.
So I
It,
agree there. I agree with the offensive line. I mean, they don't have the worst offense. I think Pittsburgh's offensive line is a lot worse than the Bears' offensive line. I think Pittsburgh might have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. But the
yeah, I
Bears,
mean,
yeah, go ahead.
no, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I just, like I said, I want to see him succeed, and I
Mhm.
hope that he's going in at the right time. I wish him all the best of luck, but if it goes bad, he's not going to have the same leash that those other guys had. And,
So
and
when and
I'm
when you
just
say
go ahead.
leash, do you mean like after his rookie contract runs out, or what do you mean? Like,
I mean, is the organization going to stand by him and give him opportunity after opportunity? Like I look at guys like I'll use Kyle Bowler, right, with the Ravens, older name.
mhm.
He got like 5 years to figure it out. I mean, I look at
Right?
guys like Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill got a really long time to figure it
It's,
out in
Ryan
Miami.
Tannehill did not play bad in Miami. He was playing.
Yeah,
He was a Pro Bowl. He was playing Pro Bowl type football until he got hurt, and then he was expended. He didn't get another. He didn't get a second chance in Miami. They traded him, or they cut him, or whatever they did. They got rid of him.
right. But he had his opportunity. The organization was patient with him. Daniel Jones.
These are hold on,
That
Scott. So
the Giants haven't been patient with Daniel Jones.
Scott, this is his what, third year?
It is his third year.
Yeah, this is his third year. I mean,
Is it-
so
But
so
but
I
but but
mean,
are they going to allow Justin Fields to get to his third year?
why would they? You're not gonna just so uh
If
uh
they're losing, if he's turning up the records that the Giants are turning up, are they going to stick with him for 3 years?
yeah, because the Giants were a shipwreck when Daniel Jones got there, so they already knew that it was gonna take them a good 3 to 4 years to even compete. Daniel Jones is not the only problem in New York. Remember when Daniel Jones got there? When he got there, they probably had the worst offensive line there. Now, for whatever reason, well, the Giants' offense as a offense, they've never had an explosive offense. In New York, whether it was with you can look Eli, they were never explosive offensively. They the Giants historically has always been defense and run the ball. That's been the Giants. They never had somebody that. So now they have an athletic quarterback, but they got him some pieces. They like them losing last week to Washington wasn't Daniel Jones' fault. The damn kid missed he scored a damn touchdown. They called it back. He threw a pass to another kid that hit him right in the hands. He dropped him.
So
And
let me
then
ask you this though,
yeah,
okay? Because you're making my argument. Is everybody going to make the same interpretations, or I ain't even going to call them excuses, but analogies for Justin Fields if he fails?
absolutely, because historically in Chicago, quarterback play has been terrible. Historically. And now they have somebody who you can build around. You can build around this guy, and everybody knows that the damn offensive line stinks. So yes, um um they I personally feel that the Bears know what they got here, and if Matt Nagy doesn't use them, he's gonna get fired. trust me, they'll fire Matt Nagy before they replace Justin Fields. He's that good. He's not the kid. What's his name? That got drafted by Arizona. The year
Kyler
before.
Murray?
No.
Oh, Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen. I feel like Josh Rosen got a raw deal, right? He never really got a chance to prove himself. Well, come on, man. He was when he got drafted by a rookie coach who wasn't that great of a coach, right? He got fired after 1 year. And mind you, that guy was a defensive guy. He wasn't even an offensive guy. He got fired after 1 year. They brought in their coach now, and he knew that he wanted Kyler. He said it when Kyler Murray was a freshman in college, that if I get a chance to draft this guy, I'm gonna draft him, right? And I think it is what it is. That was actually played out to be a better move. So, Josh Rosen, I don't feel like, I mean, and he might be just really that bad. I honestly don't know, because you didn't really get a chance to. I mean, he wasn't that great at UCLA.
He's gotten a lot of opportunities. I mean, yeah, he caught Josh Rosen. He caught the raw deal in Arizona. I believe he was in Miami.
He got traded to Miami.
He got traded to Miami. He had an opportunity there.
No, he didn't.
And it wasn't. How you feel he didn't have an opportunity? He had an opportunity to compete. I mean, he
is that what you're talking about? He'll have an opportunity. He didn't play.
Yeah, but he had an opportunity to showcase that he should be playing. I mean, he didn't go to a team with a Hall of Famer and a Hall of Famer backup. I mean, he was battling Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? I mean, and this is a top. He was a top 10 draft pick. Yeah, that year, and I mean, he ended up being on a practice squad. They ended up cutting him. He had an opportunity with the 49ers. I mean, he's battling Jimmy G. I like Jimmy G, but I'm just saying, like, if you're that good, he had his opportunities. Let's not act like, the Arizona Cardinals cut him, man. He couldn't get a job.
No, they traded him, and he was still on his rookie. They traded him after a year. He was still on his rookie deal. So it wasn't like he ran through his deal, and he might still be on his rookie deal. So it wasn't like he got
garbage. You must be to be traded a year after you were drafted. The team to just say, you know what, we're not even.
I mean, they fired the coach. They had a terrible team. That team was. Come on, Scott. That team was terrible. That team was. They had the number 1 pick, and he didn't play. Josh Rosen didn't play.
If they thought they had something in Josh Rosen, they would have maybe traded out of the first pick, or they would have did something.
No, they knew. I mean, I agree there. I agree, but that still doesn't mean he didn't get a raw deal. And maybe he just wasn't that good. But there's been black guys that's been drafted, that's been just been on teams after team after team. I mean, but hey, man. So anyway, with that being said, I do think that Justin Fields should be starting, and he should be playing. I thought he should have been a day 1 start. I do. I feel like if he would have played against the Rams, they would have had a better shot at winning the game. So remember this name? Ducky Hodges. But yeah, man. So let's get into the winner of the week. Let's go.
No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner.
All right. If you hadn't heard, my week's winner of the week this week is the Metropolitan Police Department here in Washington, D.C. And the reason why they're my winner of the week is it's come to the attention of most. We got 10 female officers that have filed a lawsuit for sexual discrimination, a hostile workplace, and cultural intimidation. And I just, man, in this day and age, in this culture, we've got to do better, man. I just couldn't believe some of the reports, and more of the reports are going to come out to what they were doing to these female officers, and the type of environment that they were promoting here in DC. So for that reason, man, that's my winner of the week, man. What are your thoughts?
Ooh, well, especially at a time when there are women fighting for equal rights, equal working rights, and
Right.
employment rights. Is excuse me, it's crazy. Uh, again, I feel like those people should be held accountable. If they're out there doing these things, they should be held accountable. Um, and I'm gonna do more research as far as like what the actual intimidation was. What was it for? What were they particularly doing? Because it's about to be lack of better words, a poop show in
Right.
DC, with the police department. Uh, it, it's that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and it's a lot going on in DC, and you need those people, and you need those women. You need good officers, whether they're men or women, to do what they're supposed to do. So I mean, it's gonna be um pretty interesting to see what happens in the coming months out in DC. All right. So let's shift gears real quick to NBA
Okay.
and talk about Ben Simmons. His his people have said that he wants no more parts of Philly. He doesn't want to be part of the team, and he ain't showing up. So I have some thoughts on this, but I want to hear what your thoughts are in regards to Ben Simmons wanting out of Philly. What are your thoughts on that? And where do you think he
I,
can go?
oh, it's a lot of places he could go. So we talked about Ben Simmons a lot, and I think everybody on earth knows that he can't shoot a basketball, but that's okay. He does a lot of other good things. Great. I mean, he's a good defender. He's a good playmaker, and he's a good player. I think most teams would be thrilled to have him, and they make a spot for him.
Hmm.
I would have liked to seen him commit to being a better jump shooter and go back to the 76ers and try to make that opportunity work. I felt like that they were on to something. It was just they ran into a little bit of adversity. Yeah, we talked about it a ton. Part of it was Doc Rivers coaching. A lot of it was him not shooting the ball. Some of it was the rest of the team. But I felt like the team that they had built, and with some of the additions of like Andre Drummond and some of the other guys, I was really I thought they were going to be a powerhouse in the East. I feel like that this situation has gone a little bit too far to where it's almost like the James Harden situation is
Hmm.
that they're going to have to figure out how to trade him. They're going to have to lower their asking price because right now it's at the lowest, and I am disappointed that he didn't try to stick it out and fight through that adversity. What are your thoughts?
So I personally, before I even get into any of that, I personally think that he should try and work it out with Oregon. I think that's part of the reason why he doesn't want to go to the facility, because I think that if Doc Rivers face to face conversation with Doc Rivers, he's probably gonna stay, and I think he's afraid of that. But uh the main thing is, I agree. There are plenty of places that Ben Simmons can go, and it's gonna take a lot. If I was Philly, I would make sure I'm getting a ton of draft picks, a superstar, because he's still a superstar. He's still a superstar. Probably, if not the best defender, probably top five defender in the league. and more around 2, or 3. Uh, and I think that if it's not because he said it goes back before Doc Rivers even got there, and if it's something that could be repaired, because what's the name? What's the name? Brown. What's the first guy's first name? Ben Brown. Ben Brown. Yeah. He's not there anymore. He's not coming back. You don't have to worry about that. You even have a different GM now. I think that if it's something that can be reconciled within the organization, then I think that they should do it. If it's something that where they can, hire a coach just to work on his shooting, then do that, because I believe that that's a problem. It's gonna take a Embiid, and all those other guys, Maxey, whoever on that team is friends or cool with Ben Simmons. If they want him to stay, they're gonna have to go to him. They're gonna have to go to California.
Do you think that that's part of the problem? Do you think maybe it is Embiid? Do you think it's a lot of the decision to run the team through Embiid and not make him really the focal point? Could that be some of the issues to why he wants to leave?
It could be, but let's be for real. You ain't going to no team that's gonna win and not have another superstar. There's nobody doing it with just one superstar or one star. No one. So I don't take Ben Simmons to be that selfish of a player. I don't know, but I don't take him to be that selfish of a player. I think a lot of it is mental, play wise. Now all this other stuff with the organization that we don't necessarily know directly what it is, then that's something that he's gonna have to handle with the organization. As far as like,
but let me ask you this before you make your next point. It's been people running out of Philly, running. I mean, they can't get out of Philly fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is a.
You mean like players?
Like Jimmy Butler. Like
that was different.
Okay.
That was different.
Dwight Howard.
I don't know. I mean, he only had a 1-year deal.
So what I'm trying to figure out, and it's all speculation or whatnot, is it's been an understanding, and we've seen it season after season after season with the 76ers. It feels like they're missing something. It's not necessarily the talent on the court, but it's a chemistry that just doesn't gel for whatever reason. And the first two people that you look at is you look at Ben Simmons and you look at Embiid, right? And you're like, okay, these guys are two of the biggest superstars in basketball right now.
Mm-hmm.
Their games should somewhat complement each other. And it was shown this year that it can work with both of them doing their thing. Like there's a lane for both of them. But it's something that just seems off with it. You know what I mean? And nobody has came out and really said it, but you would have thought like somebody like Jimmy Butler would have been like, you know what? I want to stay with these two superstars, you know, because you're talking about two of the biggest. And you throw Tobias Harris in there too. But Jimmy Butler was like, something is off there. He didn't speak on it, but it's either got to be Embiid, but then you look at all the relationships Embiid has with everybody, and you say, "No, it's probably not Embiid," because you take a step back and you say, "Okay, Jimmy Butler has an excellent relationship with Embiid, right?"
Yeah.
So then you start looking at, is it Ben? You know what I mean? Like, and I keep saying that. I know you hate when I say it. When there's smoke, there's fire. You know, what happened to make you say, you know what, I'm done with this organization. I'm not going to show up. You know, you took a lot of criticism for not scoring, right? But that was mainly from the fan base. You know, you.
Oh no, it's from the team too. I mean, Doc Rivers and Joel Embiid clearly were talking about that after the series was over. Like literally after the game, what was it, 7? Whatever it was.
They talked about it a little bit, but it wasn't. I mean, Doc Rivers, they asked him, could he be a championship caliber point guard? And he said he didn't know. And that's a fair assessment. I mean, other players get harsher criticism. You don't think that they do?
No, I agree. So my thing is this. The main reason why I don't think Ben Simmons should leave, the absolute number one reason why I don't think he should leave is because of that series versus the Hawks. It's like it was almost like what that reminded me of was 2011 finals, LeBron in the fourth quarter, and he was running from the moment. It looked like he was just running from the moment. Whether he was or not, that's what it looked like, that he was running from the moment. LeBron came back in 2012, and that's probably the best year LeBron ever had. And I feel like Ben Simmons should come back. Yeah, we saw some of the videos with him shooting threes and making threes, but he should come back with the Sixers, show his ass, and get the hell out of there. And then, because first of all, he got 4 years left, so it's not like a situation like AD or Harden, because they didn't have those years. They were in like the last years of their deals. So he needs to come back. He needs to come back to Philly, show the improvement, right? Not if for not nobody else, but for himself. Show the improvement, and then if he wants to leave, then get on. But I feel this is like the absolute worst time that he should say, I want to leave. I want out. I want out. It's after the showing that he just showed. You know, because now it looks like, oh, when times get hard, I'm just going to tuck tail and run. That's what it looks like.
Just with their roster alone, they're a top 6 team in the NBA.
Absolutely.
You know, I think most people could agree to that. That with what they were able to accomplish last season, you know, they're a force to be reckoned with in the East. I mean, they're a top 3 team, regardless of however you want to flip or to bounce it. Right. They're right. If they've got all their pieces, they're right there in the mix. And as we've seen last year, you don't know who's going to get hurt. You know what I mean? So it is whoever clicks at the right time and whoever gets stay injury free. So yeah, they have a championship caliber team. They, regardless of our opinions of him, he is a championship caliber coach. And if they put it all together, it can work. But you know, it just seems like he wants to run to. You know, I heard somebody talk about him going to the Wizards because they've got like a ton of players they could give up for him, or, you know, he could go to like Sacramento, or the Warriors don't seem too interested.
I tell you what, if what I heard earlier today was true, he definitely would have been in the NBA Finals next year. If Kyrie for Ben Simmons. If Ben Simmons was on the Nets, one thing I can assure you that he would not care about being the focal point. He and
you would do that though. You would trade Ben Simmons for Kyrie?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's even. I mean, because here's the thing. Kyrie can shoot. Ben Simmons is questionable. Ben Simmons could defend. Kyrie can't. They both could pass. And they both could finish at the rim. So it's kind of like, and what the Nets don't need right now is another shooter, because especially if Harden and KD are healthy, you add Ben Simmons to lock down whoever they're playing's best player. That frees up KD and Harden. My God.
See, so this is the thing that I don't think it will work. Oh, okay. So number one, you're right. All the points that you made are valid points, but Harden and Kyrie's strength is both of them can play off the ball. James Harden is a ball dominant guard that Ben Simmons can't play without the ball.
That is false. That is false.
Not to the extent of Kyrie.
Are you kidding
I
me?
mean,
when
he can't shoot.
That okay, but he could take it to the basket. Because remember, the year that Jimmy Butler was there, remember in the playoffs, Jimmy Butler was bringing up the ball. Ben Simmons was getting his buckets on the wing and taking it to the back. However, he was getting it to the getting the points. He was getting the points off the ball.
That's how he should play. And I think that other than this year, most people would have thought that okay, they need to bring in a point guard that could shoot and move him back to the small forward, or maybe have him as like a point forward or whatnot. But I like what Brooklyn has with Harden and Kyrie. I wouldn't give that up for Ben Simmons. You know what I mean? I wouldn't.
See, here's the thing. Who is the biggest threat? Who's the biggest threat to Brooklyn in the East?
Milwaukee and 76ers.
Okay. Right. So let's just say we won't say 76ers in this case, right? But we got Milwaukee. They the champs. If they have Ben Simmons on the Nets, is KD defending Giannis?
No.
Exactly. That's it right there.
I would argue too, if you had a healthy Harden and you had a Kyrie, that series is different. Like I don't necessarily. Needed Ben Simmons to push them over the hump.
No, I'm sorry. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. But Ben Simmons can make life so much easier can make life even more easier for KD defensively, because no, I'm not saying KD's a liability defensively. He's not, but it's like Pippen and Jordan. If you think Jordan wanted to defend Magic, he couldn't. They put Scotty on him, and next thing the Bulls don't lose another game.
Well, if the 76ers get that, if the 76ers get that lucky and they offer Kyrie Irving, they got to pull the trigger.
KD shut that down, so you know.
Oh yeah, I was about to say. I was like, they offer Kyrie.
The rumor is they were thinking about it, but KD shut it down before it even got started, which I can understand. That Kyrie's the reason why he's in Boston. I mean, in Brooklyn. So, all right, man. So look. That was a cool basketball talk, but we've been playing fantasy, and I know last week we were making some jokes from our fantasy league about burning goats, and they couldn't join us last week, but I think we got some representatives from the Burning Goats organization to join us to kind of like talk about their season in fantasy and how it's been going. And I think the people want to hear this because, I mean, if you ask me, they stink. But that's neither here nor there. And should we bring them in?
Bring them in.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. First of all, I'm the PR representative and the head coach. I'd like to thank you guys for bringing me on, and I'd like to dispel some rumors.
Okay.
The Goats suffered from poor participation from Zeke, Saquon Barkley, and Gibson. I shouldn't be trusting NFC running backs. They all stink.
So, you said the NFC East running backs stink?
They all stink week one. I would also like to point out we did not hit the target this week, but someone else also stunk and put up 1 point more than the Burning Goat with his massive team. Would you like to raise your hand?
That's fine. Go ahead.
It was the host. The host team stinks.
My team stinks?
The team does stink. I'd also like to point out that Dak's dog stinks. And I'd like to point out that this week's opponent also stinks. Hold on.
What is that? What is happening right
What's happening right now?
Oh, wait. Someone wants to address him.
Wait, what? What is? Yo, wait. Yo, Scott, you got this.
I am the owner and
What?
president of the Burning Gate.
Who is this?
This is me.
Oh snap!
It is me.
Yo, come on.
Everything the PR director said was correct. That dog stink. Corey's sorry team stink. And Seek and Destroy stink.
What is happening right now? Oh my god. Okay, wait.
The goat is on
First
the
of all,
tear.
first of all, wait a minute. All I have to say is, are you cockeyed? Are your eyes are your eyes off kiltered?
Yes.
He said yes.
Okay, wait. I would just like to say, I know your representative, your coach and PR person. They said that that my team only scored 1 point more than you, and you know we like to have facts here. It was actually 3.03 points more. Not only that, I won. So it doesn't matter if I only scored 3 more points than you. I won my matchup. I am 2-0. Our goats, animals, mammals they're animals, right? You animal are 0-2. You haven't won a thing.
I'd also like to nominate another team that stinks. Look into my eyes. You're no longer the captain. You're bailed on your Buffalo Bill, and your team stinks.
So, okay. I'm really scared right now, so I don't want.
Yeah, I don't want no beef with the goat.
I don't. You know,
I don't want no smoke with the goat.
I think one of your horns are deflated.
Yeah, because of the beatings we've been taking. The goats will ride again.
Huh?
The goats will ride again.
The goat will rise again.
All right, so I have a question. So, who are you? Who are you facing this weekend?
I'm facing Corey's terrible team.
Corey's team?
Corey's terrible team.
Okay, so
This team stinks.
Corey's incredible team that stinks. All right.
So hold on. What's the point projection for Corey's team?
So it's supposed to be what I'm looking at here is 166.57 for the Burning Goats, 151.82 for Corey's incredible team. This is the toilet bowl right here. This is 0-2 versus 0-2 with all due respect. I don't want to be disrespectful. I think with all due respect, it's 0-2 versus 0-2. You know, people aren't clamoring to see this matchup. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Scott. I didn't.
No,
like
so Burning Goats has an opportunity to win. The Goats has an opportunity to get off the snide this weekend.
Yeah, we'll have the same record as Seek and Destroy after this week.
All right, can I ask another question? Hello?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
all right, first of all, don't come back close to the camera anymore. All right. Look, why do you sound like that? Is that how goats sound? Huh? Okay, so you have an opportunity. This is crazy. We have a talking goat on the show. Jesus Christ, I never even knew. I didn't even know goats can talk. So just
Daddy D, you like my beard?
I like your beard. I do like your beard. He's got a goatee, man. Yeah. He has a goatee. He's good. He's good.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this. Burning goats. First of all, could you please back up from the camera? That's really scary. It's really scary, and it really makes me nervous. If you don't win this weekend, how are you gonna feel about your season moving forward?
Long season. We got
So it's a long season.
Okay.
I think that's what he said. Yeah, it's a long season.
I'm not sure. Are we gonna? Oh man, you're really scary, man. Too bad your team isn't scary. With all due respect, of course. With all due respect, but you're really scaring me right now. Stop, man. So Burning Goats. By any chance, do you have any social media where people can find you? No social media.
Goats, do you have a football team that you root for? No football team.
Do you like sports?
We like the goat.
Huh?
The goat.
The goat.
All right, so I have a question for you. So since you're here, I do have a question for you. And if in the NBA, you know, everybody wants to know who's the GOAT. Is it MJ or is it LeBron? Who do you consider the GOAT in the NBA of NBA, the greatest of all time?
Manigault.
Huh?
Manigault. In his name.
Oh, Earl Manigault. You asked. You asked. He was the GOAT. There you go. Hey, there you have it. The GOAT roots for the GOAT.
Okay, so so all right, so Burning Goats. So let me ask you another question. What are your thoughts about Little Bo Peep sitting on some sheep? Are you crying? Oh God.
Oh man.
All right, so oh God. So Burning Goats, I would like to thank you for joining us. I wish you lots of luck. Oh my gosh, no. Stop! I wish you lots of luck this weekend. I mean, I think that oh Jesus. I think that you know, we may consider bringing you back on next week if you win. If you lose, I mean, we don't really like to have losers on here, but I felt like it was only right we gave you a chance to like defend yourself because we pretty much told the truth and you know, some may take it as slander, but it was more of the truth last week. But again, thank you for joining us. Oh man, you're like our first guest we've had in quite some time. And normally we have winners on, but you know, we made the exception and added a loser on the show. So
Picking the goats.
Scott, do you got anything, man?
Nah, yo, just best of luck to goats, man.
Yeah, let's get some horns for the burning goats, man.
For
It's probably the
burning
last time.
goats.
Oh, wait, wait. Oh, wait. Sorry. Somebody's shooting at the goat. They want some goat meat.
See you guys later.
Huh? Oh,
He said, "See you later."
All right, sir. Whew, that was a little spooky, yo. That was a little.
Oh
spooky.
man,
Oh,
he fooled me. He fooled me. Got me.
So all right, man. I think it's time to get out of here, man. I really do think it's time to get out of here. We'll be back next week. We might possibly be doing a NFL preview show on Sunday. It's possible. And we'll probably do more fantasy type talk at that time. Have some special guests. I promise you that the Burning Goats will not be on there. If we do it, we're still working out some details. The Burning Goats won't be there, so you don't have to be afraid. You can tune in for some knowledgeable football talk, some opinions, some of everything. Heading into the games for fantasy and just casually. Anyway, I think it's time to go, Scott. I think we gotta go.
Yeah, man, that kind of shook me a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. So. All right, man. It's off the record. What am I again? I'm Anthony Adebayo.
It's your boy Scotty B.
We gotta go. We gotta go. We off the record. Anthony Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance? Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.